Hey there, this is Workbench with Workbench Quagmire. This is our free code camp Python certification in 100-ish days. It is day 50. We are halfway. We're kind of leisurely making our way through this budget app. So if you're trying to complete this, actually not budget app, we created our own app. So if you've watched previous videos, you know I don't actually do the projects here. What I do is a project that's similar, maybe has the same overall requirements, and then we tend to throw in a little extra. The first time we used multiple files and did an import, which we hadn't, I don't think was not required in the project. We're doing that again this time, but it's only because we're doing testing. So what we're doing is we're writing tests. Let me go to show you the code here. We're writing tests for all these methods. So instead of a budget, we have a project. And instead of, adding to the budget, we add to the time budget. Then we log hours against the project. Then we have a method that checks, is there enough time? That's what we worked on last time. Then we have a method that checks this, that helps us transfer time to another project. We have a method to get the balance, and then we have a string method. So, and then we have this function that's outside of our project where we can take multiple projects and we'll graph them like they do. So, but right now, we're like I said, we're taking this in tiny chunks because we're writing the tests that fail, and then we write the code to make them pass. And so right now that we have get balance, we could use this has enough. And so now we can do log hours. And so what we want to do is basically subtract hours from our project. So when we log hours, we're going to log them in a negative way. So when we do our test, we're going to test a couple of things. We're probably going to create a project. We have a project. I'm probably going to change the testing code so it automatically creates it and adds 40 hours to it because I'm tired of doing that in the code. And then what we'll do is we'll log like 10 hours against it, and we'll check that the objects that's created here is actually negative 10. And then it actually creates this object. So that'll be our log. And then we should actually see that our get balance is 30. So let's go over here to our test. Again, like I said, we got this thing that sets it up. So now we're gonna say self.project.time budget, and we're just gonna add 40 hours. That way we can come down here and delete this and delete this where it's repetitive, and delete this. So let's save this file. We should be passing all of our tests still, I believe, and we are. So each one of these methods that starts with test is a test. Now there's multiple things being tested within those tests. We're going to change the name of this because we're not checking existence of these things anymore. We are just testing them. So do they exist? We probably don't even need that code, but we're going to leave it in there because I don't know what the correct way to deal with that is. I'm no testing genius. I'm no genius at all. I just think once we start adding more tests to this, it doesn't make sense to say, hey, it exists. That might be the only one. Let's leave that. This is probably the only one that makes sense because we're not ever going to test these other than whether they exist. So same with this one. So now we've set up our time budget. Now we got to get balance log hours. So what we want to say is self.assert true that project we'll do it here. is project self dot project dot log hours, and we're going to log 10 hours, and the description is going to be prep work. And then down here, we're going to get balance should equal 30. Or we could say, well, you could do a couple of things here. We could check that the balance is 30. That works. Yep. That'll confirm it's negative too. So, because we're going to put in 10, but we're going to subtract it by flipping the sign. So now when we go over here, we have a failing test. So our get balance equals 30 is not true. So we go over here and log hours. So the first thing we do is check if we have enough. So if self dot project dot has self has enough time, and we are going to put in time here. So if we have enough time, we are going to create a new object. So we're going to self dot project log dot append, and our object has a time. In this case, it's minus time, and then it has a description, and that's going to be description. Else, what are we going to do if it doesn't? Let's go check what FreeCodeCamp did with theirs. Okay. So, deposit, withdraw, accepts an amount, an optional description, default to empty string, methods to store in a ledger amount, passed in a negative number, and then should return true, otherwise return false. Okay, so that's easy. Easy peasy. Let's just make that. I don't know why this is unhappy, but we'll figure it out. Return true. Return false. Okay. Let's see why we got squigglies. Line too long. It's only one too long. We're good. So let's see if our tests pass now. They do. So let's demonstrate it. So Python and from project tracker import project, and then proj1 equals project proj1 and proj1 dot time budget is 40. Then we say proj1 dot log hours. And so we're going to log 10 hours. Rep work is true. And then if we go in here and log 100 hours, and that will be called, oh no, returns false. And then if we get balance, we see it has 30 hours because we are not going to take the 100 out. So there we go. There's another little chunk of our project done, our project tracker app. We can now budget for time, log hours, which requires us to see if we have enough and also get the balance. And so next time we will write the test for time transfer and we'll do that. Then we'll go down here to our string method. And then this create time chart looks like it's pretty elaborate. So that may, I don't know, may take more than one session. It depends. I don't like to make these things too long. Some of them have been close to a half an hour, I think. 20 some minutes. I did cut 15 minutes out of one of them one time. So thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you tomorrow for a continuation of our Free Code Camp Python certification in 100-ish days.